everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. Today is my check-in for my 4 years on YouTube, BookTube anniversary. And I usually check in with some sort of a little thing to share, but today I really don't have a huge thing to share other than to say thank you to the people who are subscribed and who watch the videos and who comment. It really is reassuring to not be speaking into the void and to have people give me feedback on the videos, as small as they are, a like here, a comment there. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. And I know that in this fast-paced world, in the way that social media is now and is becoming even more fast-paced, everything is quick and flashy and really outgoing and cute little videos. And I don't really make those types of videos, and so thank you for being here while I make these types of videos that just suit my personality better. But I wanted to give something back, and I was trying to think about what I could talk about today for you and to just like mark this moment. And so I thought about the artist channels that I follow. I don't think that the artist community on YouTube is quite as connected as the book community. I have a lot more people that I would consider to be booktube friends than I have art tube, if that's even a word, friends. And I don't know, that there's just, it's a huge kind of varying spectrum of types of artists that are on here, and there's artists that offer more instructional videos, and there's artists that offer more slice of life. There's a lot of artists that create product to sell, and so they promote that product through their YouTube channel. So I don't really fall into a lot of the artist community sections very well with my channel, because what I'm sharing is, I guess I am sharing slice of life, I'm sharing studio process, and like, this is what I'm making and this is why I'm making it type of work. So I wanted to shout out these other channels because a lot of them are huge channels compared to mine. They certainly don't need my promotion, but one thing that I do find difficult is to find artist channels on YouTube that are smaller, and a lot of these are very large channels, and I think that it's a little bit easier to find smaller booktube channels because people tend to shout out smaller channels, and they tend to find them there's maybe just an easier way to find them in the search than there is for artist channels. So in case you are interested in watching more artists and in learning about the artists that I watch and that I learn from, which is another huge point. I think that one of the things I love about the YouTube community and being on YouTube and then also consuming and watching YouTube is that I learn so much from other creators. I learn about editing, I learn about how to bring in music, I learn about lighting, I learn about ways to share my work, so different ways to talk about it, different ways to show it to people, different ways to be an artist YouTuber. And I really appreciate that all of these channels kind of offer a little bit of that for me. So that's another reason why I wanted to talk about them today, because in case you're looking for inspiration or you're looking for a way to share a certain aspect of your creative practice or of your life, these are great channels to check out because they offer a variety of ways of learning about these things. Okay, so the first one is by Bun. This is Roxanne Global's channel, and she is an illustrator, and she has an Etsy shop, so she makes stickers, and she's currently working on an oracle deck, which is really cool. she's a super creative person when it comes to making her videos. She has incredible creativity around making them, and she kind of likes spooky Halloweeny things, so she does like some kind of themed videos around that as well. So her videos are always really entertaining. She does studio vlogs, she does product reveals, sketchbook flips, what else? Really cool content that I think you will like. The next one I'm going to talk about is Quiero Abello. She is originally from Peru, but now lives in New York State. And she is a botanical artist and illustrator. And so she is very inspired by nature and does a lot of beautiful work with fungi, and plants, and she's always looking for really sustainable and earth-friendly packaging. She also has a vibe. Her channel has a beautiful kind of ethereal nature vibe to it, which is really relaxing and immersive when you watch her content. So yeah, check her out. Cheyenne Barton is the next one. She is based out of Seattle, Washington, I believe. And she has this lovely little life with her cats and her partner, and she shares her insecurities a lot, and like, well, not a lot, not more than anyone normally should, but she just is a very open person on YouTube, and I really appreciate that about her channel and about her. She's also an illustrator and has different product lines that she offers. The next one is Fernanda Menzies, who is a Chilean artist. She is Frenerd, and she's quite famous on YouTube, I would say. She's lived all over the world and has documented that on YouTube. I started watching her when she lived in Hastings in England, but she lived in Berlin, I believe, before that. So she has a fascinating career. She's now based out of Brooklyn, New York. And she recently, last year, she came out as lesbian, and so she just really has this fascinating way, again, of showing her life, this way of like being honest and open, but also like create a really great artistic practice. She makes graphic novels, she does really great t-shirts, and she actually sources her t-shirts from secondhand shops, and so she reuses other t-shirts. So she's really got a unique style to her videos and a unique voice, and I mean, that's why she's so popular. She's a really popular artist YouTuber. Another really popular artist YouTuber, Free Little Peach, which is Sean, and Sean is she is based out of Sydney, Australia, I believe. And she lives with her partner Rocket and their cat Tonka, and she now has a separate studio and house. She used to have a combined one. She does lots of different projects. She illustrates children's books and writes children's books. She also does a lot of client work, so you get to see a lot of her projects that she works with different companies. She's worked with Samsung and some different companies, and she's also super like has a vibe, has like an aesthetic that her videos all kind of go with. She has a very bright and cheerful illustration style, and she also does a lot of studio vlogs, but also shares a lot of, is really generous in answering a lot of questions from her followers and sharing a lot of her information. Next, I have Iris Impressions Art, and Iris just actually launched a podcast with another artist called Not a Real Artist. She has that mom life vibe with her vlogs, kind of like presenting her work and making her work. She has her studio is in her bedroom, and she has 2 sons, and she also has a Patreon and like does illustration work and does some classes and teaching as well. So you get to see all of that in her vlogs. She doesn't make as many videos as she used to, because when she launched her Patreon, I think she moved a lot of her video content over there, but she makes one usually once a month, and she has a really like bright and like an openness to her that I really enjoy watching as well. Julia Ha, her channel is, she's a fine artist and she is an oil painter. She makes beautiful paintings. She's currently living in Cambodia, and she was based in New York, then went to Cambodia, and then everything happened with COVID, and then she came back to the United States and lived in Michigan. And she's had a lot of personal stuff going on that she's shared really openly and with a lot of authenticity, I found. And she's right now in Cambodia for an indeterminate amount of time, working with an arts organization there that spreads the joy of art to a youth living in Cambodia. Siem Reap is where she's living. So I really enjoy her channel just for learning more about Cambodia, because I don't know hardly anything about it, and she's really generous in sharing her experiences there in terms of, finding a place to live, in terms of places to go to eat, things to do, all those types of things, but also like her own work and her own art she shares as well. She's also a yoga instructor, so she talks about that quite a bit in her videos as well. Next is Lee Ellickson. Lee has one of the best senses of humor on YouTube. Her, she always makes me laugh in every video, and so watching her is a joy. And she does a combination of stickers and prints. She uses a lot of animals and nature in her work as well. And she's also renovating her house with friends that she lives in, so that's really interesting to watch as well. And she recently, like in the last year, also moved into a studio outside her home. So she also has a great dog, and like she's just a really, really great personality. One of my favorites for sure. The next one is Misty Comics, and that is my friend in real life, Don Livera's channel. Probably the smallest channel on here, so if you are interested in learning about another artist's practice, then please go over there and give her a subscribe. She shares lots of different interesting things. She's an artist, she's an instructor, she does a lot of classes. She really has a grassroots style of art making, where she makes art out of lots of different substrates and things, and she turns things into art that you don't think would be art. She also does a lot of art exchanges with different artists, so different projects. She's currently working on a project, two projects that I find really great. One is the Buried Book project, which she's adding another layer each month to this bundle and like burying it in the ground, which is very cool. She's also doing some ancestral exploration, which she shares on her channel. So definitely check out her channel. Her videos are short and sweet, and she has lots of different fun things for anyone who's creative to consider doing. Next, Radia Ramen. She is a young thing. She's in her early 20s, based out of New York as well, and she has a really cute style about her, like her own personal style, but also her artwork style. She has a cat named Cooney, and she makes a lot of work about her. I just finished a vlog of hers last night, which was about her experience at the Mocha Art Fair, the Mocha Art Fair. I think that's what it's called, but it's like an illustrator's art fair in New York City, and that was really interesting to learn about her experience with that. And her partner is also an artist, but the videos are mostly from her perspective. Yeah, check her out. Next is Sandy Hester. Sandy is a I believe she's based out of Tennessee in the United States. And she is a painter, and she is a full-time artist, paints every day, does landscape, portraits, really loose and flowing with her work, shares a lot of information about different supplies, so different oil pastels and paints and color swatching and trying out different products. She also released a class a while ago, so you can get classes from her. I think she's quite prolific in what she makes and also in her selling. And she's just like a bright, smiley, bubbly person. She has just a really great energy that is a pleasure to watch. And then my final one is the Unexpected Gypsy, which is Wendy, and she's based out of the UK. I think, I can't remember, Glastonbury, I think is maybe where she's near. And she is, she has a really wonderful energy as well, but it's just in a different way. It's really interesting to me that all of these artists, I really love their energy and their personalities, and that's what draws me to watching their videos. Wendy shares a lot about art journaling, about letting creativity flow through you. She talks about her life just as in general as an artist. She and her partner dropped everything and went and lived in a van for several years, driving all around Europe. And now she's settling down. She's settled down again, and she has she paints kind of fairies and ethereal looking ladies, and she does florals as well. And you know, I think if you're looking for some kind of grounded and sweet energy, then you should look on the Unexpected Gypsy. So those are the channels I wanted to share with you today. That is not all the channels that I watch by any means, and obviously I didn't share any book channels with you, but I wanted to just kind of create a list of art channels that I enjoy. And if you watch any artists' channels that you think that I might enjoy, please put them in the comments down below, because I'm always looking for different artists to follow and to learn from and to support as well, because you know, it's nice to have that connection and that ability to make YouTube friends with other artists. I would definitely like to be able to do that. So thank you to all of you who are subscribed to this channel and continue to be subscribed. I really appreciate it, and I will be back again soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching.